All right, well, one of the easiest modifications you can do to improve horsepower on your Camaro is add a new intake. And Southern Car Parts, that's one of our top sellers, is new intakes for your Camaro. It could be the air raid intake, or of course Halltech, which is famous for intake systems with the Corvette, is now started producing an intake system for the Camaro, for the 2010 plus Camaro. This is for the SS only, and it is called the Halltech Yellow Jacket. It can give you gains anywhere from 10 to 15 horsepower. It requires no tune, no modifications, or no permanent modifications to the car, no cutting, and very, very easy to install. So we're going to go ahead and walk through real quick installation of this intake system, try to keep it in less than 10 minutes, and show you how it's done, and then show you what it looks like once it's installed. So what comes with your kit is your heat shield, filter element, throttle body coupler, and then your air bridge. That is it. So we'll go ahead and start the installation now. Okay, or with the Halltech Yellow Jacket, one of the easiest things, though, the easiest way to install it is to pre-assemble most of it right here, you know, stage it first and then put it in the car instead of trying to assemble it piece by piece in the car. So if you roll over to our mule test car, you can see that we've already taken out the OEM intake system. Everything's removed, throttle body's exposed, nice and clean, real easy to get to. And we also took out the ductwork that comes in here that's part of the ram air piece. That all came out. Everything's out, ready to go. And we're gonna go ahead and start the pre-assembly. So if you come back over here, first thing we do is take your heat shield, your air bridge, and pop out this little nipple that goes in the side. It'll make it really easy to insert the air bridge through the heat shield. So you want to go at it like this. The big end, the opened end, is going to be on the inside of the heat shield. Another little trick to get your MAF housing through is you're going to want to pop the seal down. So when you slip it through, it's going to slide on through. Oh, hold on. Slide on through like that. Pull it through. Now you see your MAF housing, your MAF coupler wouldn't fit if the seal was there. So since your rubber coupler's off, it slides through. Bam, you're through. And you just take this rubber housing and this rubber gasket, this little edge guard is really all it is, and put it back in. Got the edge guard back on there straight. That slides in like that. Go ahead and put this little nipple back in. Just push it in. Make sure it's not bound up inside. Looks good. So there it is, all pre-assembled. No filter on it yet, we don't need to mess with that. The thing that we're going to want to do is put the throttle body coupler on, and take one of your band clamps off so you don't drop it on the car while you're installing it. Actually, you can take them both off for that matter. Just slide it over, pretty easy. Take your band clamp, put it on, screwdriver. Down, holding the coupler in place so it doesn't wiggle out of position. Make it fairly snug. You might have to loosen it at some point, make sure there's no debris or anything in there. That's on. Then we're going to take the heat shield and air bridge and we're going to drop it all in. And anybody can tell which way it goes. It's cut to fit. Now you'll notice down here your AC line. I believe that's an AC line. Yeah, your air conditioner line. The heat shield goes on the inside of this line. Right here, it goes on the inside. So you might need to push this away a little bit. And then it's got grooves here and here in the bottom to slip over the line. So you drop it on in. You see I'm on the inside of that line. Everything's lined up. And that's it. You can see here how the slots on the rigid AC line go across the top, how it runs right through there. Make sure that is on top of that this little hook is on top of the screw there, on top of that post. Everything's down snug. There. And we're going to be putting a nut on there in a minute. Then from here, you can simply take your air bridge and it's going to go inside this coupler. Obviously, we're going to need to put a band clamp on it. Band clamp. And this is just going to simply slip inside this coupler. It's easy if you press down and then kind of get that bottom edge, then get the top edge, work it in there, and bam, and it goes. Push it in, nice and snug, and it's in place. Slide your band clamp back. Now the trick to doing that coupler can be frustrating as hell, is to put the bottom edge of the air bridge on the coupler first, press down, and then use your fingers to go around the outside edge and pull the coupler around. Don't use a screwdriver or anything like that, because you might nick your coupler or scratch your air bridge, and then you'll want to hang yourself. Loosen this band clamp so we can get across the air bridge. Over there. And when you tighten the band clamp down, you do not have to crank it down to till you turn blue. Just tighten it so it's snug. A lot of folks want to just, whoops, actually I want this to look nice, so I'm gonna reposition this clamp so it's lined up with that, like that. There we go. Tighten it snug. But you don't want to tighten it so tight that it collapses the whole air bridge, because you can. I mean, if you really crank it, you could crush it. It's just plastic. So there you go. That's in. Here is, Jim Hall does include this P80 lubricant, and you can use that if you have trouble getting your rubber coupler or getting the air bridge inside the rubber coupler. Obviously, the coupler fits on the throttle body really easy. But if you have trouble getting the coupler in, which I kind of struggled with it a little bit, you can take some of this and smear it around on the inside of the rubber coupler, and it'll help you slide your air bridge in. So once you get that in, you can see the coupler is hooked up to the air bridge. The next thing is our PCV hose. You want to take a little bit of this lubricant, and you're going to probably want this for this piece. It's not optional, and put it around the nipple or around these little connectors on your PCV hose that's going to be hanging there after you disconnected your stock one. And you're just going to simply take it and slip it over it, just like that. Bam, done. So once you get that done, then you're going to install your MAF. We took this out earlier with the OEM piece, and you're going to reuse your OEM MAF screws. This is probably the most delicate part of the operation, because the MAF is very fragile. You don't want to put your fingers anywhere around here where the sensor is. And pay attention to the airflow. It only goes in one way. It's notched to only go in one way. It's notched on the air bridge to only go in one way. But people will still try to force it in the other way. So pay attention to the arrow that shows the airflow. Obviously the air's coming in here going this way, so we want to put our arrow pointing that way. So you simply slip it in, and then put your screws in. Next we're going to go ahead and, well, here's our filter. I went ahead and took that out of the wrapper. We're going to install our MAF plug, where we put the MAF on, MAF sensor in earlier. That just slips on over like that, clips in place. And then we're going to come over here, and something I forgot to mention is we're supposed to take the OEM rubber grommet out of the stock intake, and then the nuts, and that goes on this back piece over here. So you can look back there. And you're going to pull it over this way, and then put your nut on there. You push it away this way so it's closer to this side, and put your nut and grommet in here and slip it on and tighten it up. We'll go back and do that in a second. And then the next thing, you're going to put your filter on, get your band clamp on it, loosen it up. Filter goes on, be careful not to bind it up against the windshield washer thing, and then tighten it up. Just take a screwdriver, tighten it down. Band clamp was pretty loose. Push it on. There. And that is the complete installed Halltech Yellow Jacket intake system for the 2010 Plus Camaro SS 6.2 liter LS3. I just take that. It doesn't matter.